What is happening to me?
In the myths of ancient Greece, Scylla was once a beautiful young woman who lived by the sea, admired for her grace and beauty. Sailors and fishermen would speak of her in awe, captivated by her elegance and the way she moved like the ocean itself. But everything changed when she caught the eye of the sea god, Glaucus. Glaucus, deeply infatuated, sought the help of the sorceress Circe to win Scylla's love. But Circe, consumed by jealousy, had other plans. Instead of helping Glaucus, she poisoned the waters where Scylla bathed, turning the maiden into a horrific beast with 12 snapping dog-like heads growing from her waist. Banished to the rocky cliffs near the Strait of Messina, Scylla became a terror of the seas. Any ship that ventured too close would meet its doom, as her monstrous heads would snatch sailors from their decks and drag them into the depths. Her story, born from envy and betrayal, became one of the most feared legends in Greek mythology. A reminder that even the most beautiful can become monstrous through the cruelty of others.
What you just saw was created entirely using free AI tools. It's incredible how powerful these tools are, and best of all, you can use them to produce content that's fully monetizable on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to create videos like the one you just saw, step by step. We'll start with writing a captivating script, move on to generating visuals, and finish by editing everything into a cohesive story. You'll learn how to create stunning content even if you're a complete beginner. And remember, timestamps are below, so feel free to jump to any section you're interested in. Script creation. Our first step is to create a script. We'll be using Cloud AI for this. It offers a number of free script generations each day, which is perfect if you're starting out. If you don't have an account yet, I've linked it below. Go ahead and register. Once you're in, type in a prompt like this. Create a short horror video script about the transformation of Scylla from Greek mythology, focusing on her betrayal and tragic fate. Hit send, and let's see what Cloud AI gives us. You can tweak the result as needed to get the tone and pacing just right. Now that we have our story, we give Cloud AI another prompt. Generate image prompts for each scene in our story, focusing on the descriptive details and eerie atmosphere. Cloud AI will generate detailed prompts for each part of the story, which we'll use to create the visuals. I usually copy all my scripts and image prompts and arrange them properly on Google Docs for easy access. Voiceover creation. Now that we have our story and image prompts ready, before we generate our images, let's first get the voiceover. For the voiceover, 11 Labs is my go-to. If you don't have an account yet, the link is in the description. Their voices are realistic, and they offer various tones and styles. You can even clone your own voice for a personal touch. For this project, I'll be looking for a voice that brings out the intensity of Scylla's story. I'll select a voice that matches the mood of our script. Just click on Voices in the library. You can experiment with the available options to find the one that suits your story best. I'll go with the deep voice of John Altra. Add it and then return to the text-to-speech section. Select the voice you added, copy your script from your document, paste it into the text bar, and hit Generate. Also check if there are any other voices available and generate for them as well. For example, when Scylla says, "What is happening to me?" I'll be looking for a voice that matches this line perfectly. Next is creating visuals. We take our image prompts and head over to Leonardo AI to bring them to life. If you don't have an account yet, I've linked Leonardo AI in the description below. Go ahead and sign up. Once you are in the interface, click on Image Creation on the left. Once you are here, for the preset style, we will go with 3D render or moody for this project because it captures the haunting, unsettling tone of Scylla's transformation perfectly. To fit the YouTube format, we'll set the aspect ratio to 16:9. I recommend generating 4 images per prompt to give yourself a few options to work with. Now let's go ahead and generate the visuals for each scene of our story. Copy and paste your image prompt, then hit Generate. Wow, look at those images! Scylla stands gracefully on the rocky shore, her ethereal gown billowing in the sea breeze. Follow this process for the rest of your prompts. Next is image animation. Now that we have all our still images, it's time to bring them to life through animation. For this, we'll use Kling AI. If you don't have an account yet, I've linked it in the description for your convenience. Sign up for free. Once you're there, Kling AI offers 66 free credits, which is enough for your project. Click on AI Video and then click on Image to Video. Click here to upload our first image, and for the prompt, guide Kling AI by typing the actions we want in the scene. Set the camera angles here to create a movement and atmosphere that feels as eerie and tense as possible. You can also use the motion brush to create extra movement. Just select the area you want by choosing any of the colors to indicate the part you are working on. For example, you can select her clothing and drag it upward. Feel free to play around with this feature for an added touch. You can set your duration here. I'll stick with 5 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Now click Generate and let's wait for our result. Wow, you can see the movement. We can also create transitions by uploading 2 images. To do this, switch to the end frame and upload the first image of Scylla as a beautiful maiden, and the second image showing her horrific transformation with monstrous heads. Using Kling AI's text prompts, we'll guide the AI to create a smooth transition between these 2 images, capturing the moment when her beauty turns into terror. This will really emphasize the tragedy and horror of her curse. You can increase the number of generations to 2, so you can choose from the options. Hit Generate to see the result. Wow, this is amazing! Just follow this process for all your images until your clips are complete. Next is editing our video. Now we bring everything together with editing. I'm using CapCut for this, but feel free to use any software you're comfortable with. First, create a new project and import the visuals we created, including the voiceover. Then, drag them to your timeline and scale them to fit the frame, which will also eliminate the Kling AI watermark. Next, sync the visuals with the voiceover by placing them accordingly. Take your time with this step. A great tip is to sync key moments in the visuals with specific lines in the voiceover for maximum impact. For example, when Scylla screams during her transformation, I'll sync that with a close-up shot of her face as the horror unfolds. For sound effects, I found a few haunting ones on freesound.org, such as echoing screams, splashing water, and snapping jaws. These will add more life to the video, helping to create the tension and terror we're aiming for. Once you've got your sound effects, import them and drag them into the timeline, placing them where they belong. When it comes to background music, I suggest something slow and eerie to build suspense. I'm using a track from the CapCut audio called Dark Horror. It perfectly complements the story. Place it on the timeline, then reduce the volume to a minimal level so it won't overpower the voiceover. Don't forget to add transitions. Just click on Transition and select one that suits our horror story best. I'll go with some overlay transitions that create a soft movement, which is exactly what we want for our story. Apply this to all the clips. Click on Filter and select one that fits your video to achieve that cinematic look and ensure everything ties together. Trim your video properly if you haven't already. I'll also be adding some effects to create extra realism and tension in certain clips, like adding a lightning effect for when Scylla's transformation begins. I'll complement this with a lightning sound effect, which can be found in the CapCut audio library. Don't forget that you can experiment with other effects that might work better for your scene. To add the rewind effect you saw at the beginning of the video, select all your clips, right-click, and create a compound clip. Then, make a copy of it. For the first one, click to reverse the clip. Once it's done loading, increase the speed to reduce the clip size and make it faster. I'll search for a reverse sound effect and drop it here. Once we've synced our visuals, voiceover, and sound effects, it's time to add text overlays. For our title, I'll be adding it between the reversed clip and the main video. To do this, I'll add a black blank background from the CapCut library in the media section. I'm using a cracked, distressed font for the title, The Curse of Scylla. Just go to the text section, drag and drop it onto the timeline. I'll write or paste our title here, The Curse of Scylla. I can decide to change the font if I want, then add an animation effect. I'll go with this one, change the color to red, as it reflects the theme of transformation and tragedy. We're going to add auto captions to our video to tie everything together. CapCut has plenty of great text templates to choose from, so experiment until you find the right one. I'll go with the first one here. Finally, I'll do a final pass through the video, ensuring everything flows smoothly. Then, we export. And that's it. You've now created a full video using AI tools, completely free. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to check out my next video on the screen. You'll absolutely love it.
What is happening to me?
In the myths of ancient Greece, Scylla was once a beautiful young woman who lived by the sea, admired for her grace and beauty. Sailors and fishermen would speak of her in awe, captivated by her elegance and the way she moved like the ocean itself. But everything changed when she caught the eye of the sea god, Glaucus. Glaucus, deeply infatuated, sought the help of the sorceress Circe to win Scylla's love. But Circe, consumed by jealousy, had other plans. Instead of helping Glaucus, she poisoned the waters where Scylla bathed, turning the maiden into a horrific beast with 12 snapping dog-like heads growing from her waist. Banished to the rocky cliffs near the Strait of Messina, Scylla became a terror of the seas. Any ship that ventured too close would meet its doom, as her monstrous heads would snatch sailors from their decks and drag them into the depths. Her story, born from envy and betrayal, became one of the most feared legends in Greek mythology. A reminder that even the most beautiful can become monstrous through the cruelty of others.